Hello, my name is Chunhua, and this is my career speech. People tend to follow an expectation for their future, whether it be from family or even socially. People forget what's most important is that you're enjoying what you're doing, especially since it's going to be for the rest of your life. This becomes a conflicting statement because anything that you can do could be considered repetitive after doing it for years after years. How disappointing would it be if you're stuck doing something you don't like for another 20 plus years? I tend to get bored really easy. After picking up a hobby, it can only last me a couple of years before I want to move on to something else. Even throughout the day, I feel restless, and I'm constantly wanting to be up on my feet trying to do something new. This made it hard for me to find something that I would enjoy for multiple years to come. This is when I started to watch sports, with Russell Westbrook breaking the record for the most triple doubles in a row, and the San Francisco 49ers going undefeated this season so far. Sports are fast paced and unpredictable, with new players always coming into the league and surprising outcomes. Becoming a sports journalist allows for a fast paced job where something new is always happening. We're able to report about multiple sports if one gets boring, and we get to talk to new, young, fresh athletes every year. One of my fears is that I will run out of excitement for my job, but when I'm in a field with a constant demand for entertainment, it's difficult for me to run out of excitement. Learn.org describes a sports journalist as someone who works in amateur and professional sports in all forms of media. This broad career makes it hard for you to run out of fresh content. First, let's look at what it takes to become a sports journalist. Study.com mentions in their career guide to becoming a sports journalist to earn a degree in journalism, English, or even communications. It seems that something that seems consistent about getting this job is that you will need to go to college to get a form of higher education. But even then, there are many options of degrees and majors that you can choose from before you graduate. Before you graduate, it is recommended that you have experience with forms of media, such as through your college newspaper. There's also experience you can gain through managing social media for your school or an organization for your school. You can use this experience and build yourself a portfolio of the things that you publish for your school. Another important thing is that you have to participate in internships. The more, the better. Whether it be for a news show, a radio show, or even a newspaper, having first-hand experience with a company, even if it's for free, gives you more opportunities later on when you're trying to find an actual career. Once you have built up your resume and start applying for jobs, you start to realize how broad this career actually is. There are many possible places you can work at where your form of communication is going to be used. Radio shows, news articles, live reporting, post-game interviews, and even social media. The concept of sports is also very broad. Getting in contact with organizations, sponsorships, coaches, the staffing, the medical team, as well as the athletes themselves. There are many people that you could talk to get an article out of or even have a discussion about. Now, do you think I can qualify to be a sports journalist? Well, I have lots of experience with leadership and communication from many different places that can help me with this career. To my high school leadership, to even a Bible study teacher, my communication is something that I have curated for my future career. These positions I've had put me in a demand to share, which becomes practice for what I want to be. As far as education, I'm working on a communications degree and also taking classes like this one, which helps me strengthen my communication skills. I've even had experience building my high school's news show from scratch. This practice just showed me that in front of a camera, I have nothing to fear, and that writing and following a script isn't all that difficult. Playing basketball as a 5'8" Asian boy isn't going to cut it. I'm never going to be able to play in the NBA. However, once I land the job that I want, I'll always be able to participate in the NBA firsthand, even if I'm not actually on the court. Now, let's review what we learned. Stephen A. Smith, one of today's most popular broadcasters, says, "You don't have the right to hold somebody accountable for standards you refuse to apply to yourself." I agree with what he says, so I believe that you should find a career that you will be able to enjoy for the rest of your life, just as I am trying to do the same. A career where you're not looking forward to retirement, but instead looking forward to the next time you clock in. No matter how long and how tiring the path may be to a certain job, as long as you're going to enjoy it, that path is nothing. The path to a sports journalist includes a higher education, as well as lots of experience, which may be difficult now, but it's going to be nothing later on. Continue to push yourself to do something you're going to enjoy. One of my references show that an average sports journalist makes around $41,000, which may deter some people from the job. But watching LeBron James dunk for a living and documenting it is way more exciting than sitting in front of a computer all day long. Thank you.